Greetings. Welcome to Studio Milwaukee Session with Trapper Schoepp, brought to you by Transfer Pizzeria and Cafe. The new record is Bay Beach Amusement Park. They'll be performing that record tonight at Toasted Tonight, which is the final Toasted Tonight of the season. Please welcome Trapper Schoepp.
It don't matter who you are, choose any car, red, white, or blue, and you can choose who to hit, not who hits you. David and Goliath, the pimp and the priest, Hector and Achilles, Beauty and the Beast, Ollie and Frazier, Hamilton Burr, the cat and the mouse, Batman, Joker, Jobs and Gates, Joan of Arc and the Brits. Down here everybody's gonna get hit. Bumper cars. It don't matter who you are, choose any car, red, white, or blue, and you can choose who to hit, not who hits you. Jerry and Newman, Palmer and Jack, Albie, Annie Hall, the Vikings and the Pack, the people and O.J., Potter and Malfoy, the Jedi and Sith, the Hatfields, McCoys, love and lust, the left and the right, all going at it on this floor tonight. Bumper cars. It don't matter who you are, choose any car, red, white, or blue, and you can choose who to hit, not who hits you. I got you bad, now I'm on the run. You want that sweet redemption. She came up from behind. I'll admit I was blind. Bumper cars. It don't matter who you are, so come mothers, daughters, fathers, sons, you'll feel a lot better after you're done.
Trapper Schoepp on Studio Milwaukee here on 88.9 Radio Milwaukee. Bumper cars, some good rivalries in there.
Some good ones. Could have been more. I wrote about 100 verses.
I was going to ask, how many more rivalries did you leave on the table?
Yeah, we left out Avery, Stephen Avery, and the cops. We already had the people in OJ, so we thought you can't have too many murderers in one song.
Any other ones?
I
do like that you got Newman and Jerry in there.
Jerry and Newman was big. The Jedi
Albie
and
Singer
Sith.
and
I found a way to incorporate all of my favorite things into one song. So I got rid of, Jerry and Newman, the Star Wars reference, the Vikings.
Stones or the Beatles, Ken? We're
Yes.
on air.
I know. We've long had that rivalry.
Which one?
I'm Stones all the way.
Me too.
Yeah. In fact, we did that during a membership drive. We had people vote for the Stones or the Beatles and the Stones.
Was there an other option?
There was no other option. I was making the rules. I said it's the Stones or the Beatles. And it was neck and neck for a while, but the Stones prevailed. So.
Good.
And the person who was putting down the challenge was Stones, so that was good. So, Bay Beach. How many people in the audience have been to Bay Beach Amusement Park? Turned 125 this year. Most rides are a quarter. If you've ever been, those of you that have been, it's just one of the most picturesque parks you could ever visit. Family friendly. Neither you nor I are from Green Bay, yet we're both intimately familiar with it. How did you first get acquainted with Bay Beach?
My girlfriend Madeline brought me to Bay Beach, and she grew up going to the park and said, "Oh yeah, and this is Elvis Presley's favorite ride." Like, what? Like totally burying the lead, showed me all around the park, and then, oh, here's Elvis's favorite ride. But as a fan of rock and roll music and history, it was just sort of this giant beacon in the sky of rock and roll
Oh, yeah.
and good times. And for anyone who doesn't know the story, 8 days before Elvis Presley died, he boarded the Zippin' Pippin. He rented out the entire amusement park that it used to be on, Liberty Land, and he rode it from, I think, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. while binge eating those peanut butter and banana sandwiches he loved so much. And when we played at the park for the 40th anniversary of Elvis's last ride, they were making the peanut butter and banana sandwiches. So the ghost of Elvis could be well fed.
And I made the mistake of having one right before we all went on the ride. I can't
Oh,
imagine
no.
binge eating them and then doing the Zippin' Pippin continuously for 4 hours.
I think Elvis's stomach is well
Yeah.
equipped to deal with anything.
This is true. So Zippin' Pippin, which one of the songs on the record is about, that was a staple in your set long before the Bay Beach record. Was this the impetus that got you to write the Bay Beach record?
Yeah, well, I wrote that song, then I kept going back to the park every summer, sometimes multiple times in a summer, and riding different rides and saying, oh, well, that could be a song, or this could be a song. The bumper cars, have all these rivalries going head to head. And then, I was on this one called The Scat, and there was this little boy on it, and he looked like he was having the worst day of his entire life. And he kept saying over and over, I feel weird, I feel numb, I wish that this would end. This isn't fun anymore. So he kept saying it over and over. And so we made the song, The Scat, with those lyrics, and then we also made these great T-shirts that say, this isn't fun anymore.
Which have also been placed, in other situations.
Different contexts,
Yes.
yeah. We have one also from the song that says, I wish that this would end. And when I was in Washington, D.C., I went and stood out in front of the White House, and I wore my I wish that this would end shirt. And the little boy who took the picture of it, who had a Make America Great hat on, it was right when he got me in perfect frame, he realized the comment I was making, then I was like, oh. But pretty fun.
So let's get another song from Bay Beach, Trapper Schoepp on Studio Milwaukee.
Cool. This one's called Ferris Wheel, and it's about these two young boys who show up to the amusement park with their mama and papa, and they get on the Ferris wheel, and it's going round and round and round, and they get to the very top, and they say in unison, we wish this never ends. And it ignites this supernatural energy in the Ferris wheel, and it cannot be stopped. So you all are warned. Ferris wheel. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me tell you the story of two young brothers who came on a sunny day. They kissed their mama and papa and ripped 2 tickets, boarded the beast of the bay. As the Ferris wheel turned, they took beautiful pictures and yelled down to their friends. They threw their bubble gum down and screamed in unison, we wish this never ends. Their wish came true and their wish came true. The wheel went on and on. The boys still smile every time at the top on the Ferris wheel that never stops. They called in the firefighters and the GBPD, but nobody could slow it down. When the FBI came, they turned off the power, but it still went around and around. As the crane went up, the wheel got faster. It pulled away, the closer they'd get. It shake the ground and shock the operators. On hot days you could see it sway. Their wish came true and their wish came true. The wheel went on and on. The boys still smile every time at the top on the Ferris wheel that never stops. mother missed them dearly, but she loved the attention. So she moved their trailer into the park. She makes him breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when Dad comes home, they toss a football at the perfect arc. But the boys get defensive whenever they mention trying to shut it down. They fell for their captor, the supernatural reactor. They just love going round and round. Their wish came true, and their wish came true. The wheel went on and on. The boys still smile every time at the top on the Ferris wheel that never stops. One night they heard creaking and the wheel slowed down. So slow it almost came to a stop. And the mother called to their sons, please jump now. But they just sat and licked their lollipops. And as the people gathered round, the wheel must have noticed it's time to put on a show. The bulbs went pop, the lights technicolored backwards, forwards, fast and slow. Then all the rides started moving, even the stars started grooving, and the moon hurried its descent. It started picking up speed. We heard the brothers scream, we wish this never ends. Their wish came true, and their wish came true. The wheel went on and on. The boys still smile every time at the top on the Ferris wheel that never stops. The Ferris wheel never stops.
Ferris wheel from the Bay Beach Amusement Park record, which is available for sale and in the building, and will be performed tonight in its entirety at Tosa Tonight. So it almost seems like a Stephen King short story, The Ferris wheel, where it's just this benevolent object suddenly takes on supernatural powers. What inspired the story behind it?
Well, there's that Kingston Trio song called MTA, where the guy gets stuck on the subway
Sure.
forever and ever because there's a fare increase.
Okay.
And his wife comes and he hands Charlie a sandwich bag every day so he can make sure to eat lunch and survive. So the idea kind of was birthed from that, and I love the part in the Ferris wheel song where the mother moves the whole house, their
Yeah.
trailer, into the amusement park, and then when the dad comes home, they throw the football up and down. So they get to do all of the traditional domestic things
Sure.
and make the best of a terrible situation.
Still quality parenting going on despite
Yes.
horrible situation.
Yeah.
By the way, Peter Adams from our marketing department did actually get stuck on the Ferris wheel at Bay Beach when he was younger with his mom.
Is this a true story? Can we get you on the mic?
So tell me a little bit about the making of this. You guys did it at Pachyderm, which is a pretty famous recording studio up in Cannon Falls.
Yeah, we did it in Pachyderm, which had Nirvana there. They did the In Utero sessions all at that.
You know
It's
why,
like a
right?
cap. What's up?
You know why, right?
Oh, well, because Kurt, they wanted to keep him away from bad city things for all of our younger listeners. But yeah, we did it up in Pachyderm in the middle of the winter. So, you'd see the snow falling and the little turkeys coming and poking their heads through the window. And we did it all pretty much old school, live, kind of unhinged and fun, just like the sort, or just like, the inspiration is, each song is on a different ride at the park. So we wanted to have this kind of wild and unrehearsed feel to the record. So we knocked it out in like 3 days.
Very cool. And how did you come to end at Pachyderm? Did you?
I met this kid, and I can call him a kid because he was only 18 years old at the time, but I met him at a Save the Bees festival that we played up in Minnesota, and he said, are you working on anything? I just started this record label. I said, well, yeah, I wrote all these songs about amusement park rides. He said, what did you do? I said, just listen. And like 6 months later, we were in Pachyderm with him, where he works from time to time. So it worked out pretty well.
Very cool. So you guys went up to Bay Beach a couple of weeks ago on the anniversary of the day that Elvis Presley rode the Zippin' Pippin. Tell me how it was to come full circle, to visit the park all these times, write these songs, record them, and then go back to the scene of the crime, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. It was an attempt to do the most meta thing possible because it's the year 2017. Yeah, it was definitely surreal to play the songs and then look, and you can see in your sight.
And you were set
all
up right
the
in
different
front of the
rides.
Zippin' Pippin, yeah.
Yeah, right in front of the Zippin' Pippin, so you'd hear it kind of hear the train go by, if you will, and all the sights and the sounds of the amusement park and the songs playing. Everything kind of just came to life in a really fun, full circle way.
And I can't remember who did Palisades Park, but you got to wonder if whoever wrote that song ever performed that there.
I wonder.
Yeah. But you guys did the whole record there, and how was the crowd?
The crowd was good. Yeah, we got everyone on their feet at the very end, came up and did a really epic version of Freight Train. And it was great. A lot of the old timers who have been coming to Bay Beach since, I talked to this one guy named Doug, and he helped get the Zippin' Pippin up to Green Bay, and he's been going to the park since like the 40s.
Oh, wow.
And so I got to ride the Zippin' Pippin with him, as well as the director of the park, Jason Arnaldi. And so it was really cool.
That's
like
awesome.
you said, meta,
circle,
full
yeah.
circle, all that good stuff.
So you did disobey your doctor's orders then?
Yeah, my doctor, he said, "What are you working on?" I said, "This record about an amusement park." And he said, "Which one?" I said, "The Bay Beach." And he says, "You better not be riding that Zippin' Pippin with a bad back like yours." And I said, "No, sir, I will not be riding that Zippin' Pippin."
And how many times did you end up riding?
Well, I think that night we did at least 5 or 6, 7 maybe? I don't know.
So let's get a song not from Bay Beach, something from the last record. Does that work?
Yeah, we're going to do one called Oglala. And the story behind this is we were coming home from tour, and we got stuck in this little town in the middle of Nebraska in a snowstorm called Oglala.
Trapper
And
Schoepp.
all I had was a little bottle of NyQuil and the new Hobbit movie. So those two things kind of came together famously to create this next song.
Trapper Schoepp on Studio Milwaukee.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the headlights, a semi jackknifed. I felt alright when they shut down I-80, pulled over to the shoulder, took a winterlude. In a snowed-in mood, I saw a movie, an unexpected journey. I felt like Martin Freeman when he was first leaving. I'm waiting for the road to thaw, waiting for the road to thaw in a town called Oglala, 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 la 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 la, Oglala, Oglala, oh oh. Benny got the best rate at that Super 8, and I dreamt I'd skate with sugar on the black ice. It felt like yesterday. Oh wait, I was under the LA sun. Wish I got to Omaha, wish I got to Omaha. Not Oglala, 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 la 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 la, Oglala, Oglala, oh oh. Some news at 9, saw a car that could have been mine. It was crushed like a can. Travel safe, said the weatherman. I'm waiting for the road to thaw. Wish I got to Omaha. Not Oglala, 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 la 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 la, Oglala,
Wish I'd got to own my